Hey, what's going on guys? John here, and today I wanted to do an in-depth video review of the legendary Legend RC car. So in this video, I'll just show you all the components that came in the box on this. We'll do a demo outside, and then I'm also gonna just walk you through the remote control car itself. So let's first start with everything that this actually came with. I was able to get this up and running literally within less than 5 minutes. It was very straightforward. In terms of the legendary RC cars, I've used a few of these and overall very happy with them. This one is actually quite rugged. You have these absolutely massive tires both on the front and the rear. This one has a pretty nice like truck body style to it. You have a pretty durable front bumper here. I'll kind of flip this around just to give you an idea. So if you do hit anything with this, that's gonna take some nice absorption, if by any means you do that. You do have these huge shock absorbers both on the front and in the rear. There's actually a dual setup in the back as well as the bumper there. This one basically is most standard RC cars in this particular line. You have these little metal clips that basically hold all throughout. Your batteries are actually contained inside a piece beneath this, and it comes with 2 of these batteries. They're unplugged by default, but they're 1600 mAh, so pretty straightforward in terms of power and range on these. And more or less all you have to do is plug the battery in. I take the other battery out. You have your LiPo bag here that you could use just to prevent LiPo fires, so when you're charging your batteries you want to make sure you're putting them in this bag. And then you have some of your extra accessories. Comes with a charging cable, these USB based charging cables, and then you also have these additional lights that you can install as well. So I believe these will work, you know, kind of like light up here, I believe somewhere in the front, probably for like the headlights and the tail lights. I didn't install these, but that's kind of a nice little add-on that they have. In terms of the remote control, it's pretty straightforward. You have your left and your right. So as you can see, if I turn the wheel left or right, that'll turn the wheels. You have your adjustments here for like reverse and normal, and then you can make some steering and sort of suspension adjustments with these. I usually leave everything by default, but I do recommend if you need to change anything, you can check out the manual. It's very detailed and has color imagery of pretty much everything, how to go about charging, making adjustments, tightening the wheels, installing the battery, any precautions around charging. And then as you can see here, it goes over all the different things. So you have your power switch, your steering trim, you've got your dual rate adjustment, the different LEDs and what everything means. But overall, out of the box, you really shouldn't need to adjust anything. But if you do decide to tinker with all of this, you have those options. They go through troubleshooting steps of things that may or may not be working and just general operation tips. You do have like speed modes here. So it says to avoid damaging the car, please switch the half-speed mode L when you play with the car for the first time. So this, I believe, is actually over here on the right. So my camera is not focused, but essentially the top one is H, and that's your full speed mode, which is actually what it's on now. And then L, which is on the bottom, is like a half-speed mode. See if I can get the camera to focus there. Sometimes takes a minute. But yeah, basically, really good in terms of options. The remote takes 3 AA batteries, which are not included, that you just put in the base of this. Your forward is basically just pulling, and then your reverse is going backwards. So we'll take this outside and we'll do a little demo here. I'm gonna just run outside here through the garage. I'm trying to hold the remote in one arm and camera and everything. Might not be the best demo just because I'm the cameraman for this, but at least you guys will get somewhat of an idea of what to expect. Again, I've used several of the legendary cars, and I think this is probably one of the more rugged ones I've checked out, just due to the size of the tires. And then you've also got this awesome like shock absorption system that I actually think is pretty good as well. So if you're gonna hit some good bumps and things like that, this thing is gonna maintain. It is starting to rain here, so I'm not gonna spend too much time, but I've got a huge driveway here that we can test this out on. So probably gonna keep this more or less straight for the moment. You can get some idea of speed. So this thing's pretty quick. I mean, I would say for the legendary cars, you're looking at probably at the top end of the speed range. I would guess this could easily go, you know, close to 15 miles an hour. I actually had one that I wasn't being careful, and I ended up you know, destroying some suspension parts because I crashed it into something really hard. So I recommend if you are a little bit new to using these, you might want to just be more cautious with it initially and maybe even do the half speed. But overall, I absolutely see no issues with this thing like ripping over the bumps and just being something that you could use quite a bit for a long time to come, so long as you maintain it well. Anyway, thanks for checking out my video review. I hope you found it helpful, and I do highly recommend this RC car.